everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Happy new catalog today. I'm so excited about today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're tuning into the replay later, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the replay. My name is Lori DeGroot from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Calgary, Alberta. And I'm here so that I can help eliminate the overwhelm that can come with crafting by sharing tips, techniques, and inspiration with you to help you expand your paper crafting skills or maybe even try a new hobby. Exciting, right? And today is a special day, like I said, because we are celebrating a brand new catalog. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So we've got the brand new catalog, full of tabs, ready to go. And it's one of the best promotions of the year from Stampin' Up! Called Sale-a-bration. So if you're here or you're watching, I'd love for you to say hi and check in. It's so great to have you here. Yeah, and then I'm like, what was I going to say next? Then, of course, we're going to be crafting. So I'm not just talking about the catalog. I'm showing you new stuff. I'm showing you new products. And we're going to be making 3 cards today. So this might go a little longer than my normal half hour. But I want to show you all the fun things. So let's get to it. So the new catalog is January to April mini catalog. So now this might seem different from last year. If you remember, that went to June last year. So it's a new timeline for this catalog. So it starts today and technically it goes to May the 1st is the very last day that you can order from this catalog. So it's just 4 months to enjoy all these things, and it's going to take you right through your spring crafting, right? So that's all occasion in a sense. So you've got birthdays and thank yous and sympathy and that kind of a thing. But there's also Valentine's and Easter and specific spring holidays included in the mini, if you're wondering what the point of the mini is. Then we have Sale-a-bration. Okay, so this is one of the best promotions, like I said, from Stampin' Up! All year. Now, the last 2 years, it has been offered twice. So now and then again in the summertime. So I need you to know that this year they're going back to just once a year, okay? So don't hold off thinking that it's going to come later on in the summer, because this is it. So it's for January to February. So this goes from today until February the 28th. Now, if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, you just like crafting and you're like, what is Sale-a-bration? I'm just going to give you a brief overview, and then I'm going to be talking about it a lot over the next couple months as well. But it's basically a celebration for you, so you can get free products from Stampin' Up. So it's so awesome. So with every $60 and $120 that you spend, you get to choose a free product from here. So there's some at the $60 level and some at the $120 level. Then if you want to host a party, you also get a free stamp set if you make a qualifying order. So hosting a party looks like placing a personal order. It looks like maybe you gathering a few orders together. Maybe call some friends up and say, hey, do you need anything? Or having an actual physical in-person party. You could also do that too. So those are 3 options. And so if you reach $375, you get a free stamp set. Now that's included on top of Stampin' Up's already amazing deals that they offer for hosts. So that's, you get Stampin' Rewards and other party perks and things like that. So that's awesome. And then the really exciting thing, there's lots more, is there, if you want to purchase the starter kit and be a part of the amazing Stampin' Up! Family, there's an amazing deal. So normally when you purchase the starter kit, you get to choose $165 worth of any product you want. That's before tax and shipping, so straight up product, and then you only pay $135. But during Sale-a-bration, you get like an extra $60 worth of product. So you get $225 worth of product, which is amazing. Think of how much fun stuff you could get with that. But you only pay $135. Now, there's 3 options. That's option 3. So if you just want product, you pay $135, but you choose $225 worth of product. But let's say you want to step up your crafting and you want this adorable little mini machine here. This helps you do embossing and die cutting. Obviously it has to fit inside the small machine, but our catalogs tell you exactly what's going to fit. You can get the white one, which is option 2, and then you pay, I have to look at my notes, pay $175. You still get $225 of the product plus the mini machine, and The second option is a blue one, a special blue color. I don't have one because I already have a mini machine. But check this out. I'm going to show you a picture of it so you can see which way do I go. Look, it's blue, and it's a sneak peek of a brand new in color that's coming out in May called Boho Blue. So you could have an exclusive limited edition blue mini Stampin' Cut in a emboss machine. That's a lot of words, but it's very exciting. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, please feel free to message me, contact me anyway. If you're ever looking for more information, my website is loritamariecrafts.ca, and I've got all sorts of fun things. Okay, now I'm going to point the camera down so you can see the catalog, and I'm going to take you through a super quick walkthrough, and so that we can get to the crafting part, which is really what you're here for, right? But if you want to place an order today for fun new things, I'm going to put a link here in the comments for a shopping link, and you don't want to miss out. I'm offering special party perks. You'll get a free class. This is if you use my host code here, so if you spend $40 or more, you get a free class that I sent you in the mail. You just put it together. If you spend over $60, you get a free embellishment. If you, I have a special party perk. If you comment here, or if you're watching the replay, you comment on YouTube or my blog, you will get entry into a prize, okay? So you just have to comment to be entered. Lots of fun things. Party perks. I'll post all this up later too. Okay, so I just want to go through the quick little basics of what the catalog is. And if you have a favorite product, please let me know, okay? I want to hear what your favorite product is so far from either brochure, from the Sale-a-bration or the mini, and whatever has jumped out to you so far. I'd love to hear. The first thing that I wanted to mention is if all of this seems so overwhelming, you're like, what do I do with a whole catalog worth of products? But I want to make some cards. I suggest you start with kits, okay? So this is on page 6 and 7. And there are more than 25 kits online. There's a brand new one that launched today called Saying Thanks, which is so cute. And so you get a box, and it comes with everything you need to make cards, okay? So you could get 2. You could probably buy 2 and then reach the $60 threshold and get a free Sale-a-bration product. Paper Pumpkin is the same idea, but it's a monthly subscription, and it's a little bit of a surprise of what you get every month. You could prepay. If you prepay 3 months, you would also get a free Sale-a-bration product. So that's a good way to start. Try something new, plus get something for free. I mean, you can't go wrong. The next thing is, so when you're looking through a catalog, you're going to see probably the first thing to jump out at you is sweets, okay? So sweets are Stampin' Up's way of making crafting easy for you. It is things that all go together. You have no thinking left to do. You're like, what? All these things match. That's amazing. So they usually include, right, a stamp set and a bundle of some sort, either punch or dies. We've got ribbon, little gems, and then there's designer series paper, which is just pattern paper. They even tell you the colors so that maybe you need an ink pad. So maybe you want to get the bundle and the ribbon, and you're going to choose one paper, and then you need a stamp, an ink pad to go with. Maybe you get the Mossy Meadow, and then you can stamp your sentiments in the Mossy Meadow. Or maybe you want the Sweet Sorbet so you could stamp the pretty hearts. So they make it really easy for you to decide what to do. So you can start small, or if you're a big crafter, you might just want to get the whole suite and go all out. So there's that. Then the next thing is kind of a step down from sweets are bundles. And so there's going to be bundles of, so that means it's a stamp set and a set of dies or a punch that come together. And when you buy them together, you save 10% right off the bat. And these aren't necessarily connected to a suite, but they'll show you kind of different products that they've used with it. And so there's lots of different bundles through the catalog. The next thing you're going to see are individual stamps that just are on their own, like this fun background stamp that I've got my eye on and then drawn dots. And so they're not part of a bundle or a suite or anything, but they're just on their own. And so that's really fun. Then you're also going to see individual products that aren't part of anything. And these ones can kind of be like a hidden treat in your catalog that you can look for. And I'm not even sure if you can see. You can't even really see this one. Nope. You have to look online, maybe. It's called Vellum Basics. This is specialty vellum paper. It has 3 different patterns on it. So cute. And so that's something that you might miss. So one thing I suggest, where's my next sticky note? Yes, okay. Is if you go to the back of the catalog, you're going to see Catalog at a glance. And so if you might have missed something, you're going to see all the stamp sets, all the dies, all the brand new punches, all the paper, even the specialty ones, okay? Embossing folders, new tools, new ribbon, and embellishments, okay? So if you've missed it in the catalog, you can look it up here and see all the page numbers as a reference point. So that's kind of the brief tour of the catalog. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. So the first thing that we're going to create, let's grab this here, is this, what I think is a super cute card, using a Sale-a-bration stamp set. So this stamp set is called Adorable Owls, and you can earn it for free with a $60 purchase. So what I want to show to you today is how you can choose the $60 worth of stuff to maybe get this. So maybe you already have a wish list and it's easy. You're putting in your order and this is the stamp set that you want. But maybe you want to get some products that are going to help you use this stamp set, okay? So first things first is I got some cardstock here, and this is Sweet Sorbet, and I've cut it to 5.5 by 8.5, and then scored it in half at 4.25. Yes. And then I'm going to grab some designer series paper. So maybe when you're wanting to make your order, you're going to pull up a favorite package of designer series paper, because really anything is going to go with the owls. So this is from the Country Floral Lane, I think it's called. And so it's with a Valentine's suite, but you don't have to limit it to Valentine's, and I'm going to show you that today. But it can really be anything. So look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. I love the colors in it. Balmy blue, sweet sorbet, mint macarons, mossy meadow. So pretty. The punch punches these little hearts and leaves out, or you can fussy cut them out. And then, of course, the best part of pattern paper is that you also get kind of the more subtle side. So this is what I mean. Like, you can use this for so many different occasions. It doesn't have to be kind of Valentine's feeling. And these are, I mean, stripes. I couldn't resist. Stripes are one of my most favorite patterns. I love it. So that's the one I chose. Always go for what your favorite thing is, right? So I have cut this. I gotta find all my samples here. I've cut this to 4 by 5.25, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal and put this on the front of my card. So if you look up adhesives on Stampin' Up's website, you'll see all the different choices too. Lots of Stampin' Seal is like the basic tape one. That's my favorite. Okay, and that's just going to create a background for the card. And then, so we're trying to make up $60. So a pack of designer series paper, and then to create with the owls, you might want to get a package of the shimmery white paper. So again, on the video, I don't know if you can tell, but it's sparkly. It's shimmery, and it's kind of heavier duty, and you can do coloring and watercoloring with it. So if you've got a stamp set like this where it's an outline and you might want to color the little guy, then you're going to want maybe something other than the regular basic white cardstock. So a package of shimmery white will do you good. So we are going to make our little owl. I've cut a piece of this, and then I've also cut a little background piece out of the shimmery white so that you can get multiple uses out of it. Now I've just gone ahead and used a die. I'm going to show you which one here. I think it's from the Hues of Happiness, but it looks like a little notepad. But if you didn't have that, you could just do a simple edge and that would be fine. But I just thought it looked really cute. It would look really cute. And then it kind of looks like you tore it out of a notebook. That's one of my favorite dies, actually. So this is 3.25 by 4 inches. And I'm just going to actually put it on an angle on the front of my card. Okay, and then now we need to create the star of the show, our little owl. So I'm going to use the little guy with the bow tie. There's also a party hat, and then he's just flying, and then it says, "My friend, it's your day. Hoot hoot, you're so cute." So this would be good for any occasion, really. For birthdays, it would be cute for a baby card. so many cute things you could make with it. I have a friend who loves owls, and so I'm thinking I need to make a card for her with this. So another thing you could add to your list to color your owl might be the black ink pad, Memento Tuxedo Black, so that you can stamp the outline. You could always stamp them in a color too. But if you're going to do some coloring, you're going to want the black as a starting point. So I'm just going to ink him up. And then we're going to find a way to color him. So the most cost-effective way to get into coloring is the watercolor pencils. So it comes in a pack of 13. These are the colors I'm going to use today, but I'm going to show you. So there's 2 packs. So the first pack is going to get you 13 colors. And then there's an additional pack with another assortment, I think, of 10 colors. And then you can just color with them and leave them kind of like pencil-y looking. Or you could get a package of the blender pens, and that's what I'm going to use today. And it's going to kind of smooth, it's going to smooth out the pencil markings. Now, of course, this is a watercolor pencil, so you can also do watercoloring with the watercolor brushes. But if you want something a little more simple, a little less need for knowing a technique, then the watercolor pencils are just a good place to start with the blender pens. And so I've just colored his little bow tie in real red, and then I'm coloring his beak and feet in pumpkin pie. And then I've got old olive for the eyes. And so, and it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm using the blender pen. It's going to blend the color in and make it more smooth. And then I've got early espresso for the actual owl. And I'm going to do some lighter and then some darker. If you want to up your coloring game a little bit or try something new, there are the Stampin' Blends, which are our alcohol-based markers, which blend color beautifully. And they come in color combos. So one color with a light and dark in each one. So you can search up Stampin' Blends and see if there's some colors. Maybe you want to start with that. That's actually something on my list of things to work on this year. Learn is how to be better at coloring with Stampin' Blends. I haven't done a whole lot. So I think that's something I want to work on this year. Okay, we've colored our little owl. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like with the blender pen. So you just kind of wipe it clean and then just do one color at a time. So I'm going to do the bow tie, and then I'm actually going to take some of the color off, and then I'm going to color in the ends a bit lighter. And then I'm going to make sure there's no red showing up till I move on to the next color. So orange, I'll just go fast so I can move on here. And then you can see, let's see how it's kind of like pencil-y marked? I'll color up here and then you can see the difference. We're gonna just blend in that watercolor pencil. And so you want this shimmery white paper because it's not going to pill the same way a regular cardstock will. So then you can see it gets a little bit smoother. So that's a way to color your cute little owl. And I've fussy cut him out for this card. So I didn't want you to have to watch me cut him out. So there he is. He's so cute, right? And then to keep with this paper design, I went and I cut out 2 hearts, 3 hearts and a little one here. So that's from that Valentine's paper. So there is a punch that will punch these right out, but you can also just fussy cut them out. So I don't actually have the punch. So I just went ahead and fussy cut them out. But I thought the paper was really cute, so I've got the paper. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of everything, just to puff it up. If you don't have dimensionals, of course, just put it flat. That's all fine. I just got those mini ones to put on smaller things, and then we're just going to layer this up. You just got to peel the backings off, and then, I don't know, just kind of like that. And then we just need to put the sentiment on. So there's a few ways to do a sentiment. You can just stamp it in black on a coordinating color. So you've got, if you were purchasing the black, you could use that. So you obviously want to go on a bit of a lighter color. So I've got, here's an example in mint macaron, or maybe you want to keep with the pink theme. So this is petal pink that I'm stamping on now. And then, lost my scissors somewhere. Okay. And then I'm just going to hand cut it out. So no dies needed. We're just going to hand cut that out. And then I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on this guy too. I love dimensionals. Sorry, I can't help it. And then I'm just going to put that up there. If you want to make it pop a little more and you've got some more crafting stuff, you can emboss your sentiment. I like to emboss white on black. And so let me show you how that looks. So you can see, so it looks good with the pink, but then it just pops up a little bit more with that black sentiment. Hoot hoot, you're so cute. Oh, he's just the sweetest, right? I love it. It's fun too. There's always an owl stamp, not an owl, an animal stamp set in Sale-a-bration. And so it's always fun to see what animal is going to be this time. So let's put that aside. So I think I forgot to sum up. So if you're going to spend $60 to get your little owl, you can purchase the watercolor pencils for $22, black ink for $8.25, shimmery white paper for $13.75, and any package of designer series paper you like is $16.50. And that's going to give you enough to get your little owl stamp set. Now we're going to create 2 cards that are going to be what this week's free class is. So if you use my host code and would like my free class, this is what it's going to be. So I got to find first card. All right, so here's where you get to see some brand new product as well. So the first thing I've got here is just a piece of thick basic white cardstock. So I've actually cut it the long way, 4 1/4, and then scored it in half at 5 1/2. And I'm actually going to do my card this way, just something a little different. So I am going to cover the whole front in designer series paper, and I'm using the same paper. So now I want to show you a completely different look using the same paper. So this is the Country Floral, and I've got a sheet here that I have cut to the full size, so 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And so we're going to go ahead and put this on. And it's going to cover the whole front. And then I've got a piece cut here. It's the same actually, it's just the back side, and I'm going to put it on this edge, but I want to cut a detail on it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So there are basic border dies, which have fun little border shapes. And then there's this one here that's scalloped. That's actually from scalloped contour dies. So that's what I'm going to use today to create a pretty scalloped border on my card. And if something like this is fussy and it's moving around on you, like, and you can't get it to stay put when you're running it through your machine, you can just use washi tape to kind of hold it in place. So now I'm using the mini. You can see it's perfect for this kind of project. And then it runs smoothly through. And let's just grab that off there. That's a cute detail, right? And then we're just going to put this on the side here like this. So let's get my adhesive. I think I still cut it crooked even with the washi tape. When you're doing things live, sometimes it doesn't always come out as straight as maybe if I was doing it more focused. It's a little crooked. So then you get this cute little detail on here, and then I can't wait to show you this next bit. So this bundle here is part of the Regency Park suite. It's called Sentimental Park. And then there's a stamp set and the coordinating dies. And I'm going to show you. I've already cut them out just to save us some time today. But I wanted to show you. These will all fit through the mini. And so what I've cut out is this one here. Look at it. It's like a label, but it comes with those cute flowers already on there. And then there's this label piece that fits. And I'm going to show you what it does. It's so much fun. I didn't realize it at first until I cut it out. And then I was like, what? That is so awesome. So you get this piece here. It's already cute on its own. But look at this. Those poke up. And then you take your label piece and it literally fits inside. So I'm going to stamp on it first, but then I'll show you how it goes together. So much fun. So this stamp set is a mix and match sentiments, which I love. So you can make it say anything you want to. So I think this time I'm going to say, I haven't put them all on my thing yet. Let's do happy birthday, dear friend. But then I'll show you my sample after, and I did a different sentiment altogether. And I'm going to be stamping in Mossy Meadow, which is the darker green in this paper. And these are clear photopolymer stamps, so it's easy to line it up nice and straight. Okay, so I might have want to center it a bit more, but happy birthday, dear friend. And then I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back before I start. And then you just kind of bend that back and then go to the other corner. Look, and it tucks inside. So cute. I love it. Then I've got this beautiful linen ribbon that I'm going to use. I have about 5 inches here that I'm going to fold in half. And before I put my sentiment on, I'm going to put this ribbon on. And I'm just actually putting a piece of tear and tape down just so my ribbon sticks well. So get the backing off. Kind of just going at an angle like this. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. Just on each corner. Okay, and then it's just going to layer up on top like that. Isn't that pretty? And then I've got some brand new embellishments to show you as well. Adhesive back milky dots. So, you know, it's meant to go with the other paper, the Regency Park DSP, but I mean, when you're using Stampin' Up stuff, everything goes together, right? So it's kind of nice. So you can actually use probably this pink one and this light one. I'm actually going to use this light one here. I'm just using my take your pick tool to pick it off. And then I'm actually going to put the dots right onto the center of the flowers. And this is our second card. And this is the first one of the card kit. So let me show you with a different sentiment. So this one I did, let's celebrate you. It's kind of fun with that bold you in there. So pretty. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, today. Do you have any spring occasions that you would need a card for that's coming up? Or what is your favorite spring occasion that's coming up? Do you love Valentine's? Are you looking forward to Easter already? Because then it really is spring. The thing about spring in Calgary is that it's a little long suffering. You really got to wait for it. You really got to hang in there. Okay, our last card. You are not going to want to miss this. I am using a Sale-a-bration designer series paper called Dainty Delight. And now this coordinates with a bundle from the new mini catalog. So you could purchase the bundle and then get the paper for free, or mix and match however you want. I'm using this stamp set, but not the dies today. And this paper. And look, I love, oh, I love wildflowers. And this kind of cottagey look. It's so cute, right? Look at this. You can cut these out. You could cut them out with the background, or you could fussy cut around them and use them on a card. This is what we're going to be using today. This beautiful one here. So pretty, right? And then I'll show you the back side. So of course you've got your more solid on the back. So we've got Old Olive, Blushing Bride, Starry Sky, Fresh Freesia, and I think Daffodil Delight mixed in there. So, or Crushed Curry, actually. I think it's Crushed Curry. Such pretty paper. I'm in love with this paper. So we're going to be using this, and this is something that I love to do when Stampin' Up! Brings out a pattern like this, is that you use this to create the front of your card, and you're going to love this card. So what you do is you cut it to 4 inches, and then you're going to get 6 panels, so you can make 6 cards out of 1 sheet of paper. Okay, so we're going to cut to 4 inches, and then you're going to turn it this way, and you're going to cut to 5 1/4. And now that's the front of 1 card. Okay, so then of course on this end you turn it the other way, cut to 5 1/4. You can save this to use on a card or the back or something like that, or a different card. But now you've got 2 simple card fronts, and this is a really easy and beautiful way to make cards. So that's what we're going to be using as the front of our card. And I saw they did this in the Sale-a-bration catalog, and I wanted to share it with you guys in case you didn't really notice. But we're going to use the Mossy, no, not Mossy Meadow. Wrong green. I'm going to use Old Olive, although I'm sure Mossy Meadow would look good too. And I'm going to use my blending brush. And then quickly before I do, I wanted to show you, did you see? Look at this. There's a stand for your blending brushes. And there's mini brushes. You can get minis. So exciting. Okay, these are the regular size ones. And I'm just going to ink it up in Old Olive. And I want to kind of start off my paper. And then I'm going to rub some color right onto my DSP here just to create some fun dimension. I think it just looks, it makes a big difference. It's kind of funny how you wouldn't think it would. And you just, I don't want it too dark. I just want it a little bit light to add a little bit of depth there. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And look, that took me 1 second. So you could get, if you don't want the full size, you could try out the minis and get the little stand. Fun. All sorts of fun things. And then the rest of this card is going to come together fairly simply. So we've got a piece of Old Olive cardstock that is cut to just an 1/8 of an inch smaller than the card front, right? And 1/8 of an inch bigger than this, obviously. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And when I do just an 1/8 of an inch like that, I like it because then you get just that nice narrow border, which is what I want for this card. And then I'm going to put my seal on the back. And then I think paper like this, you don't want to take away from it. So we're going to do something really simple for the sentiment. We are going to, I feel like I didn't, just trying to find my stamp set. There it is. Give me 1 second here. I put it aside. Okay. So I just got a piece of basic white cardstock here that is cut to 2 3/4 by 1 inch. And I'm going to grab Rich Razzleberry, which is kind of this purpley color in the paper. And this is the Dainty Delight stamp set that goes with this paper. And I'm going to use this sentiment here. Thank you for your kindness. Okay, and then I'm just going to ink that up and stamp it onto this basic white. Okay, so no die cutting, just keeping this simple. And then I'm going to put it on a piece of Rich Razzleberry cardstock that's just a little bit shorter and a little bit wider. Okay, so it is 2.5 by 1.25. And then we're just going to center that on here. And then I've got some lovely ribbon here that I'm going to cut a 7-inch piece. So of course with Stampin' Up stuff, you can just look through your stash and be like, ooh, Old Olive. Do I have anything in Old Olive? And I do. I have this lovely Old Olive ribbon that's in the annual catalog. And I'm going to kind of put it up here a little bit. I'm going to use my tear and tape again just to put this on. And so I'm just basically going to fold this in half and kind of loop it down like that. That might be a little long even. That looks good. And then we're going to use our dimensionals to pop this up again. So we'll just put that like so. And then I'm in love with this card. I love it. And then the final touch, of course, it looks beautiful just like this. So pretty. But the butterfly gems, okay, mine are a mess because it's like the end of my sheet. I actually have more in order. But these are brass butterflies, and they are flat, and they are the prettiest things. And they're just what you want on this designer series paper. They're just going to add that little bit extra. You can kind of see them there. It's neat. So cute. And so that is our third card. Oh, you guys, thank you for hanging out and staying with me for the live. So like I said, these 2 cards are my free class with purchase for this week. So if you place an order from today until the end of day Tuesday using my current host code, you will get cards, what am I trying to say? All the supplies. So you'll get the paper, the die cuts, the ribbon, not the embellishments, but like not the little gems, but the ribbon and stuff. And you can add your own gems. And so then you just need a stamp pad and a stamp set. Okay? Does that make sense? I'm all confused now. You just do the stamping, but everything's cut and ready for you, and you put it together. And it's free. I do all the work, and I pop it in the mail, and then one day it's going to come to your door, and you're going to get a fun card kit to make. What was the other? I feel like there was one other thing I was going to say. But no. Here, let's bring you back up to my face. Hi. Oh, Erica, you took the butterflies out. They would go really good with your Queen Bee stamp set. You could add it to my order if you want. Anyway, I could add them on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Let's celebrate this new catalog. If you need any help with anything, I'm here to give you a hand. Always check out my website for more information. And if you're on my email list, then you're always the first to hear about everything. I'll put a link here to sign up for my email list. On Monday, I'm going to be launching my January Stamp and Create class, which is going to feature products from the Regency Park Suite. And we're going to be making a mini album. So I'm really excited about it, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Those on my email list are always the first to find out. So until then, and I will see you guys here next Thursday as well with more fun projects featuring new stuff. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.